Hey, noble ones, welcome to Metatron's Protectorate, and we've got a box. What's in the box? Games and something else. Okay, so yesterday my wife and I went to a shop called The Great Escape. Now, if you're not familiar, there are loads of different ones in many different locations, and periodically my wife and I enjoy going to this place because they have a lot of retro game, vintage stuff, all sorts of goods for a little bit of a thrift, if you will. And I kid you not, I came out the shop with this box, literally. I bought so many games that they gave me a cardboard box to, take them home. So without further ado, let me show you what you got. Okay, so the first game we are getting is this. Look, I found this Nintendo 64 copy of Xena for $49, $49.99 complete. Also, they use these that don't get stuck in it, which I appreciate that, particularly for cardboard. But I got to say, lovely condition for an inbox game for Nintendo 64. So I'm very happy to see this. I know nothing about this game, by the way, but I do know Xena. Next we've got, and I know, this is insane, Street Fighter 2 for Super Nintendo boxed, same price. When I saw $49.99, I'm like, wow, that's insane. That's really good price, particularly for the conditions of the box. Look at this. Of course, American version, everything is going to be American anyways, because I'm in the US right now. But a lot of my collection, particularly Super Nintendo games, tends to be like 50-50. I have a 50% PAL, 50% American NTSC. This I didn't have, or at least not in these conditions, so I'm really happy with this one. Man, Street Fighter is such a game. Next, we've got a loose copy of F-Zero NTSC, and you'll be like, but didn't you already have this? Yes, but my copy of F-Zero NTSC is sealed in box, so I don't, I'm one of those guys that likes to play his games. I will open the boxes, play them, but when it's completely sealed with a cellophane, kind of feels bad. So what I usually do is that I maintain it sealed. I don't have that many that are sealed like this, but I keep the seal unbroken, and then I just buy a cheap loose copy so that I still get to play the game on the original system, but then I don't break this, and then yeah, so that's what I do. So I found this very cheap, very happy. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we have Piece de Resistance, NES Mega Man 2, excellent conditions in box. This was a little pricey, $124.99, but then again, compared to what these usually get priced on eBay and Amazon, I've got to say, well, Amazon doesn't even have these, eBay mostly. I have to say, very good conditions, and conditions are what really dictate the price when it comes to inbox games, particularly when it comes to cardboard. Man, the amount of money we pay for cardboard these days, but hey, it's the nostalgia, it's the memories, and it's very nice. Look at this. Comes with the game. There you go. But yeah, Mega Man 2 being my favorite in the series, I was happy to pay the little extra $1 for this, and we'll be testing it soon. Next, we have some games for Commodore 64. I haven't got a clue what games we got here, so we'll have to just test them on the system. I already have it hooked up, so we'll definitely do that. Surprise! Or maybe it's just gonna be someone's tax documents for 1982. Who the heck knows? Alright, next we've got a sealed copy of SimCity, a little pricey, but then again, it is what it is. Yeah, so sealed copy, SimCity for Super Nintendo still remains my favorite in the series. I tried playing 2000, 3000, I tried playing 4000, all the different ones, and City Skylines. I like all of them, but this, nothing can beat this as far as I'm concerned. I already have an inbox version that is European, but a sealed NTSC version is very nice as usual. I'll keep the seal unbroken, and $179 is a lot of money, but it is sealed. And not only that, but it's in perfect conditions. It's sealed and not squashed, not touched, not cut, nothing. Contrary to some modern city builders where there is a lot going on, there are always problems, there are always challenges, and fix this and break this and click here and click there. This is so relaxing. The music is relaxing, the game is nice, and it's like you take your time. Occasionally you got a problem, but like you've got time, you can mostly build your little street and build your little railway and make residential zones and make commercial zones. It is one of those things. For me, this is the king of city builders, and I'm very happy to have added this to my collection. Alright, next is a little bit of a strange. We've got a bunch of, so this is a PS2 game called Heroes of Might and Magic, but Quest of the Dragon Bone Staff. Now, you might be like, oh yeah, Heroes of Might and Magic. No, No. So I don't know what 3DO was thinking. It's a really good game, don't get me wrong, but this is not a Heroes of Might and Magic by any stretch of imagination. The only Heroes of Might and Magic related thing would be the music occasionally. Like, for instance, the main castle here will have the same sound, the same music as the castle in, I think, Heroes 3? Maybe, if I'm not wrong. Regardless, what this really is a graphical update of an old game for Sega Mega Drive / Genesis called King's Bounty. Let me show you. There we go. Now I only have the European cover art and box of the game, so I know that the American would have looked different, but basically this is the game that this upgrades into PlayStation 2 era graphics. Although then again, upgrade kind of depends how you look at it, because having played both, I still think this is the best one. In fact, this aged better, because sprites, 2D sprites, you know, they do age better than very early 3D graphics, low poly, unless they're done really well. And for the PlayStation 2, the graphics were actually pretty bad. Not to mention, this one has very long loading screens, whereas this one has none. So out of the two, the best experience is this, but I am intrigued to try and play a 3D version, even though with the graphics we did get, of this. But at the end of the day, it's the exact same game. Identical, absolutely identical. So, is it a good game? I mean, for someone who loves this, just to give you an alternative after you've replayed this 15 times, maybe you'll be like, you know what, let me try a little bit. It's fine. I enjoyed it, and I am going to play it and finish it. I even bought a new memory card just to be able to save this for my PlayStation 2, which is, of course, hooked up to my CRT. I will play it, but I have to say, this is the best way to experience King's Bounty. And once again, they didn't advertise it as a kind of graphical reskin of this, like a remaster or a remake, in fact. But that's what it is. That's what it is. It's a remake of this, but maybe they were embarrassed by it. I don't know. Yeah, PlayStation 2, Silent Hill 2. Now, I don't like the conditions here. I'll see if I can clean it. Sometimes you can, sometimes it's really difficult. I'll try, but still, it was very cheap due to this. So I'm like, I don't have a Silent Hill 2 for PlayStation 2. And since I've recently hooked up my PlayStation 2, found all the cables and started playing it and it works, I'm like, you know what? It's NTSC, so I'm gonna, I'll try it, I'll play it, it's gonna be great. And then I'll play the remake, because that's a good remake. The recent one. We have a Final Fantasy IX. American, as you can tell from the little thing that they put on the side for whatever reason. The thing is, I never played 9. I tried it a little bit. I started with Final Fantasy VII. That was my first one. Played it, finished it, all the way to Sephiroth and whatever. Amazing music at the end battle. So I did that. I played Final Fantasy VIII, which was my favorite, until I played 10, which then became my favorite. I played 10 too, finished both. I played 11, 14, 16, 15. I played most Final Fantasies, 13. 9 I skipped. I think back in the day, I didn't like the fact that the graphics had this little bit of deformed, chibi version to them, and I didn't like that. I thought Final Fantasy VII also had it, but not during combat, you know what I mean? It was kind of an in-between. And then with 8, they gave up on that, which was the way to go for me. So I thought, you know, I should give it a try. So I found this NTSC version. I know it has some cracks, which is why this was extremely cheap. So I'm like, you know what? I'll get it, and whatever. Not a big deal for the cracks. At the end of the day, I'll probably find the European version and use that for collection regardless. So Final Fantasy IX, let me know if you played it, and if you did, if it was a good game. One more thing that I recently picked up is this. This is an original VIC-20 system. It's an old school computer, for those who don't know, made by Commodore, but this is way before the Commodore Amiga line was created, which of course still remains my favorite computer line. I've got an Amiga 500 here, we'll be playing and reviewing with and soon. But this is interesting because I picked this up for like $18. The reason why this was so cheap is because it's broken. It doesn't work. Now, it could be fixed, of course, so that's one of the things I'm hoping. But the other reason why I still bought it regardless, even though it's broken, it's because I needed it to make a comparison when it comes to design with the Commodore 64, because the Commodore 64, which is the system that comes after the VIC-20, this one, is very similar, but they went for a different color. And since I'm making a video about old school beige and old school colors used by computers in the 80s and 70s and 90s, then I thought, hey, for $18 I'll freaking get it, because it's gonna be great to showcase a comparison with the Commodore 64, and at the same time Who knows, maybe we'll be able to fix it. Regardless, we have a PlayStation 2 Golden Axe. Now, given I did not get this one through Great Escape, I recently bought it on eBay, but I wanted to put it in the box because it's still a recent pickup, and it's a gorgeous, in case you don't know about this, but this is a remake that only came out in Japan. This is a Japanese version, as far as I know. I've never seen it in Europe nor in America, and yeah, it's basically a remade version for PlayStation 2 of the old school Golden Axe. The old school Golden Axe for Genesis, Mega Drive, and arcades. Probably closer to the Mega Drive version, in fact. But I love the anime art. I mean, I would just buy it because of that, and the music is better. It's like the exact same thing that we had for the Genesis and Mega Drive, which was already great, but with an updated sound chip, and it just sounds much better. The graphics, it's once again one of those 3D portings that, because it's PlayStation 2 3D, kind of depends on whether you like that, but I think it's nice, and it's definitely better than Heroes of Might and Magic, whatever the heck that was. So lovely to have and to display because of the anime art. Then, crazy fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I found this, which I was missing from Ubisoft, I guess. Anyways, PlayStation 2 Ninja Turtles, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know anything about this game, but $6.99, and I'm still missing it, and I've been collecting pretty much every IP and every porting, every version of every Ninja Turtle related game since the very first one for NES, which was the one I played. I know there probably were some for freaking Commodore 64, since they made anything that was ever invented by mankind has a Commodore 64 version. I imagine there must have been one. I don't have that. The very first Ninja Turtle game that I ever played was the NES one that I've actually played on this channel a little bit. But I didn't have this. $6. I'm like, you know, it's $7. Stop allowing them to freaking F with my mind. $6.99, and I still think it's $6. It's $7. That should be legal to do. But anyways, next, last when it comes to the games, well, we still have the surprise, but last when it comes to the games, I found this, the Ark of Napishtim. I know nothing, but I love the art, and I've seen it. It's very fantasy anime-like, and it looks really good. So I'm looking forward to see what this game is all about. The conditions were perfect, and it was relatively cheap, so I thought I'll pick it up. But if you know about this game, let me know. I'm really looking forward to try it. It's once again the American version, and I know for a fact that, man, instruction manuals were such a good thing. It's a shame we stopped making them. I loved instruction manuals, particularly when they were like colorful. This one, yeah, I was expecting better. This is black and white. The art is beautiful though, but when they are like colorful with gorgeous art, and then you read them when you're in the car, drive back and all that, it's or in the train, for instance, or in the toilet. I mean, instruction manuals were a thing that we should absolutely bring back. But yeah, very looking forward. I'm really looking forward to this. The elves look great. It's gonna be fantastic. And to finish it all off, I found these two. I think they're like amiibo, whatever the heck, but I'll show you a little better. Let me see if I can get. So the first one is, of course, Metroid Samus in full gear, full armor. As I say, I think it's one of those amiibos that you can use to get extra, like to get something in the game, something extra in whatever game. I haven't got a clue though what game these would be for. No idea, but we also have one with her without the gear, and I thought it looked awesome to have both. Same size, you can tell it's from the same release. So I thought, hey, I'm getting these. They were like $9 each, so $18, but I really think it's worth it. And they're gonna look great on either a shelf near Metroid games, that's how I would do it, or perhaps like maybe on my desk occasionally, just as a background for videos. But I thought that these were very nice, so a lovely pickup. Indeed. These are all the pickups for today. I hope you enjoyed them. These are all the pickups for today. I hope you enjoyed them, and if you like these type of videos, this is my first one. I don't even know how you make them. I hope it wasn't boring, and thank you so much for watching, and I will be making more if this video does well. Absolutely let me know if you like that in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one. And remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye.